Hello. Hello, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of RevHagen's Horrific Cinematic Dissection. As always, I'm your host, RevHagen, and as always, I'd like to welcome our listeners at SCRMradio.com. That's Scream. Radio.com for all your horror and paranormal needs. Now, before we get into the movie review here, I want to do a really important shout out to, and the reason I'm reading this, darling, is because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I can barely keep my eyes open. Andy Dean Van Scoyoc. Now, she was one of the original contributors to ScreamRadio.com, as well as, I believe, Dungeon Radio, which later became Scream. This woman, who I call my sister for a number of reasons, she has done, she's a best-selling author. She's done tons of wonderful creepypastas, radio work, I believe movie work. Right now, if you go to The Lamentation Project, which is in the notes below, and click on it, you can find all the stuff that she's doing. Her books are still for sale. Check them out. You'll absolutely love them. She's got art that she produces, as well as voice work. There's stuff, free samples that you can download. But do what you can to support this woman. She is amazing and has been nothing but supportive of me in my career. When I met her, I was just starting out, and she was already such a big deal. It's not even funny. And just kind of making her comeback. She had been in the industry for quite some time, and then had to back away. And she's back with a vengeance, doing literally everything from amazing meditation stuff to, again, voiceover work, art, her books. As an author, I could go on and on. Check out The Lamentation Project down below. Now, the movie we're going to be reviewing tonight is 2018's Monster Party. And let's see. Written and directed by Chris Van Hoffman and starring Sam Strike, Virginia Gardner, and Brandon Michael Hall. Now, you may not have heard of those names, and they're the three main characters in this story. The premise of the story, just to give it you in a nutshell, is the three main people, the three stars that I just mentioned, are actually thieves. And they're going to do their big score, right? And then try to start a life for themselves. Kind of a classic story. Excuse me 1 second here. Got to wet the whistle a bit. Now, these three thieves actually are posing as waiting staff for a party at a very rich house, right, that they're later intending on robbing. Turns out, though, that the people that they're robbing are not the sort of people that you want to rob. And I'm going to leave it at that. An incredibly great movie. What a sleeper. I didn't even know this thing was out there. To give you an idea of some of the people that are at this party, it's got the likes of Robin Tunney. Yeah, that Robin Tunney that you may know from The Craft, or the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, The End of Days. It's got Julian McMahon from Charmed. Both Fantastic Four movies, right? Fantastic Four and The Rise of the Silver Surfer, as well as Nip Tuck. You gotta love him. He was kind of a staple during his time. And Lance Reddick, that you might know as the front guy, the office guy in all the John Wick movies, as well as being the chief of police in Amazon's Bosch show, which is a great show that you should check out as well. And he was also in Angel Has Fallen, right, from the Olympus Has Fallen series that's out there. So just these three people alone, as kind of the antagonists, for lack of a better term, because I really don't want to give anything away in this movie. Just fantastic to see these guys working well. It's not given too much away to say that because it doesn't give away the movie. It really doesn't. So I know my brain is skipping a groove here, but we're going to go back and say that the synopsis of this thing is these three thieves break into this, or pose as waiting staff. The gal actually works there, has worked there for a while, and is really uncomfortable with this, but they decide, we're going to rob this house because it's the golden ring, right? This is the one that's going to help us retire, which I think all thieves kind of think, just one more job and then I'm out, right? So they go to this party, and it's basically like a 12-step group, these people that are at the party, for serial killers that are trying to stop. It's fantastic, and it may sound like I'm giving away a lot, but I'm not. The shenanigans that happen in this movie are fantastic, and even the three main stars of this movie that are kind of unknowns, fantastic job. So do yourself a favor, watch Monster Party. I didn't even know this thing was out there. I give this movie 2 desiccated, decomposing thumbs away up. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. I love reviewing these movies for you. As always, I've been your host, RevHagen. And as always, I'd like to welcome our listeners at SCRMradio.com. That's Scream. Radio.com for all your horror and paranormal needs. Until next time.